Hi friends, this is Manish Pandey. Welcome back. Today we are going to learn about the UiPath Connect SQL Server database. As of now, you have learned how to get the data from the Excel and process each item using Re framework, and how to get items from the queue and process each items. So before working with the Re framework and the database, we need to first learn the basic thing of UiPath connection between the SQL Server database. So we'll have to learn something. Let me show you the agenda. Today we'll learn why do we need to connect UiPath with database, how to get all database activities in UiPath Studio, how to connect UiPath with SQL Server database, how to find connection string in UiPath, what is connection string, what are the connection data providers, how to use execute query and execute non-query activity, how to pass variables in SQL query in UiPath, how to pass parameters in queries in UiPath, how to fetch data from SQL database, how to insert data into the table in SQL database, how to use insert activity in UiPath, how to use a start transaction activity in UiPath, and at the last how to disconnect connection of database. These are the topics which we are going to cover today in this video. So please watch this video till the end so that you can understand this and you can also learn the Re framework with the database. Okay, so let's start here. Why do we need to connect UiPath with SQL Server? Okay, so as I told you that we are going to use SQL Server, not MySQL or anything. We are going to use only SQL Server here. If you are going to use this, then you should have the SQL Server installed in your system, and the Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio should have been installed in your system. Okay, so if you have already installed that, then we'll continue here. So as you know about the different input and output sources like queue, Excel data table, emails, folders, files, etc. So these are the input sources from where we can get the input, like the items. From the Excel also we can get the our records. From the email also we can get the records from the data. From the folders, files, we can get the PDF files and data. Now same here. Now database and this table is the best input output source too. Once you connect the database with UiPath Studio, you can easily store, fetch the configuration input data to from the database. Okay, SQL Server database. So use the SQL Server. So here, why are we going to use this SQL Server database? So here, use the SQL Server to store the configuration data to the table and read the config data from the table instead of using Excel. So as of now you have learned how to use only the configuration data, store configuration data in Excel, but now we learn how to store the configuration data in the SQL Server table, SQL table. Okay, use the SQL Server to store the input data to the table and read from table instead of using Excel or queue. It is used to keep the config input data secure in the table. Update the status of the record in table. Now how to get database activities in UiPath Studio. Okay, so you learnt about what is the use of that, why do we need to connect UiPath Studio with the SQL Server. Now how to get database activities in UiPath Studio, because if you see in your studio, then you will not be getting any database activities. So for that, what the steps we have to take, I'm going to show you here. So these are the activities: connect, disconnect, execute non-query, execute query, insert, and start transaction. So if you are not getting this activity in your UiPath Studio, then you have to follow these steps. To work with the database activities, we need to install the database package from the manage packages in UiPath Studio. and this is called UiPath dot database dot activities. This is by UiPath. So you will find that, and you can install this in your UiPath Studio, and you can start working on the database here. So I will show you practically how can we find that and how can we install that. Okay, this package is a collection of all the necessary database activities which is required to establish a connection with UiPath and SQL Server database. Execute the query and non-query disconnect the connection when there is not required. So let me show you in the UiPath Studio how can we get these activities if we are not getting. So in the activities panel, if you type here these activities, connect or disconnect, then we are not getting here. Okay, so for that you have to go to the design tab here, click on manage packages, then click on all packages, and then here you have to write database, database. So once we'll write here database, you will get this on top. This is provided by UiPath. So this is UiPath.database.activities, and just click on install, and it will start installing in your studio, and then click on save. Once you click on save, it will ask to accept the license, then click yes, because without accepting you cannot install this database package. Okay, so now all this activity has been added to the here activities panel. You can now search here connect, and now we are getting here connect disconnect. You can search here database, so you will be getting all this activity related to database, this connect disconnect, execute non-query and execute query, insert start transaction. Now we'll start one by one learning all these activity, and we'll see the practical example how to use these activities. Now how to connect UiPath with SQL Server database. Okay, so here you have connect. Okay, so connect means you know about that. If you have a basic knowledge of .NET, ASP.NET or PHP anything, then you know that we have to connect our application with the SQL Server. So we need to first open the connection, and then write the query, and then disconnect that. It means close the connection. So same here, instead of opening the connection, we are connecting the SQL Server. Okay, now here I'm going to show you how to connect UiPath with SQL Server database. So to work with the database, we first need to establish a connection between UiPath and SQL Server. You will see this activity, this is connect activity, and this is used to connect the UiPath Studio with SQL Server database. It is used to connect the database with UiPath. It gives us option to write the connection string and connection provider name. So you will have the question about the what is connection string and what is this connection provider name. Okay, so I will tell you all these things one by one. I will cover everything, because let's suppose if you are going for the interview and that is the question, that's why I'm going to cover everything so that you can learn this from here. Once you establish the connection can be stored in a variable as database connection variable type, which is used further. Okay, so here once you'll take this activity, connect activity, and you will follow few steps to connect the UiPath with the SQL Server, then you will get the connection string. So first time you connected your SQL Server with the UiPath, now you have the connection string. So like this is something like ignore the redundancy, because every time you will not use the same activity, and every time you will not start the connection, establish the connection. Then here we have a variable, we can use that variable in the connect activity, and everywhere we can use this same that activity. That variable type will be database connection. Okay, so I will show you practically. Let me open the UiPath Studio and let me show you how to connect UiPath with the SQL Server database. First, we need to take here connect activity. You can see here this is connects to a database included in UiPath.database.activity. We'll drag and drop here, and now you can see here this is the activity. We need to configure the connection. Click here and it shows new database connection. So click on this connection wizard, and this is the data source, the access database file, ODBC data sources, SQL Server database file, or other. Let's suppose you have access, like if you are using MS Access, then you can select the database file, and if you have the ODBC data source, you can select that. If you are working on the SQL Server, then you can select this. If you have the SQL Server database file instead of this, then you can select this. But here we have the Microsoft SQL Server, we will select this, and from the data provider we will take this .NET Framework data provider for SQL Server. So always make sure that you have not selected this OLEDB while working with the SQL Server. So select this SQL Server. You can see here, use this selection to connect to Microsoft SQL Server 2005 or above using .NET Framework data provider. Now press OK, and now you can see here this is the connection properties. So everywhere, I believe whenever you are going to connect, you are going to establish the connection, you will be getting this type of the dialog box. So here we have the data source, Microsoft SQL Server SQL client, and now you have to choose the server name from here. So currently it shows the Pandey here, but the server name is /UiPath RPA. This is the exact server name I am going to show you. So let me open the SQL Server Management Studio so that I can show you the server name. So you will see here we have the server name, that is Pandey/UiPath RPA. Okay, so same server name we are going to take here because we are using SQL Server, and this is the server name. So we'll take the same thing here. Okay, and now log on to the server. So we have the two authentication, first Windows authentication and second SQL Server authentication. So if you want to use your system password, then you can use this, and if you want to use the SQL Server user ID password, then you can select and you can type your username and password. Okay, but currently I am just using this Windows authentication, and from here you have to select your database name. So let me show you the database name. Let me connect this, and once you will connect the server here, so it will show the list of database. Currently I have one database, that is UiPath RPA. So that is the same thing here is showing UiPath RPA. You need to just select the database and then click on the test connection, and if it is success, then it will show you here test connection succeeded. Okay, it means this is right. Now press OK. Once you will press OK, you will get the connection string here. Now from here you have to select the SQL client because you are working on the SQL Server. Select this and press OK. Now we have the connection string in the properties and the provider name here. So I will tell you about this connection string, what is this and what are the informations provided in the connection strings, and what is this provider name. Now here you can see the output is database connections. So this connect activity, like the connection strings, stores in a variable. So we can press here Control K and we can write here like connection string. So using this variable, you can see here the type of the variable, that is database connection. So in this variable we have these information, like the connection string is stored in this variable. So anywhere if you are using the database activities, we can use this connection string variable. Okay, So what is connection string? Connection string is a collection of information which is used to connect UI path or any application with the database. For example, it has the information server name, database, user ID, password, etc. So this is the connection string which you have generated after using connect activity. This line, the data source equal to panday/UiPath RPA, this is called server name. Okay, because you have seen in the SQL Server Management Studio the server name, that is panday/UiPath RPA, and this line, this initial catalog equal to UiPath RPA. So this is database name. The UiPath RPA is the database name. So here, but the name is here initial catalog equal to UiPath RPA. So here you have to provide your database name, and this is the Windows authentication syntax. So if you are using the Windows authentication, it will show you here integrated security equal to true. Now this is the connection string for the SQL Server authentication. So this is the again server name, this is the database name, and this is SQL Server authentication syntax. So if you use there is no more difference here, only the slight difference, that if you are using the Windows authentication, then it will show you here integrated security equal to true, and if you are using SQL Server authentication, then it will show the user ID and the password. So you have to provide there the actual user ID and the password there, so that your UiPath Studio can connect with the SQL Server. Now I'm going to tell you one by one about this. So this is the server name and database name and this Windows authentication. So server name, it requires server name as a data source which shows in SSMS while connecting to server. So you can see here, this is the server name, it is required. Now it is required to use the database name also as an initial catalog, because we are going to perform the query on that database, so we need to use that database name. And the Windows authentication, it is used when we use the Windows credential to connect the SQL Server. So each data provider has a different syntax. Now let me show you. We have the 4 data provider: SQL client, OLEDB, ODBC, and Oracle client. So if you are using the SQL client, the SQL Server, then we have this syntax: integrated security equal to true or integrated security equal to SSPI. So same as that, if you have the different data provider, the syntax will be also different. Now what are the data providers? So you will see here the system.data.sql client is the data provider which we are using, because it provides the data access for Microsoft SQL Server. And these are the 3, that is system.data.oldb, and this is ODBC, and this is Oracle client. Okay, so like if you are using the MS Access, then you can use ODBC something or OLEDB, and if you are using the Oracle, then you can use this Oracle client. Now we'll learn about what is execute non-query in UiPath. So you will have seen that there is one activity in the UiPath Studio for the database that is called execute non-query. So I will tell you what is execute non-query and why the name is execute non-query. So execute non-query is used for executing queries that does not return any data. It is used to execute the SQL statement like insert, update, delete, etc. It returns the number of rows affected. So I believe you heard about this, the activity, this word execute non-query in any other programming language. So this execute non-query means this is just for the executing insert, update, and delete, this type of a statement which returns only the affected rows, not the result. And also you will have the knowledge about the execute query. So that is the different. So you can also learn about the difference between execute query and execute non-query. So I will tell you about that execute query also, because that is also the interview question. You can learn this, what is the difference between execute query and execute non-query. So this is the activity execute non-query. So in the .NET and in any other language, we are just using the statement, but here we have the activity execute non-query and we are passing the queries there. You can write the query in execute non-query activity to insert, update or delete the data in the SQL Server database. In the query, you can pass the variable parameters to insert the dynamic value to the database. For example, if you are going to insert the data to the table and you are going to pass the data dynamically, then you can use like this: insert into the table name and then name value description. So this is the one the value of the configuration table. We already have the one table configuration created in this database, that is UiPath RPA, and the values will be the single quote, double quote, plus name, plus double quotation, single quotation. Then again these are the different columns. Okay, so this is the syntax: insert into the table name, open bracket, column names, then close bracket, values, then open bracket, single quotation, double quotation, plus then variable, that your column name, and then plus double quotation, single quotation, and you can write all your variables here and then close the bracket. Now if you are passing the parameters, then you can use this syntax: insert into table name and the column names, or also you can remove this column names. You can directly use here insert into table name, values, and @ column name. Okay, I will show you practically how to use this execute non-query activity in UiPath. So let me open the UiPath Studio. Okay, so as you know that before working on any database activity, we need to first establish the connection between SQL Server with the application, that is UiPath Studio. So let me take this execute non-query activity here, drag and drop this, and now you can see here we have the again option to configure the connection same as the connect. But as you have seen here, we have the variable name, and in this variable we have this connection string stored. So we'll click on this activity, go to the properties, and we'll just in the, you can see here there are 3 connection configuration options here. First, connection string; second, existing connection; and third, provider name. Okay, so we already have the existing connection, so we'll write here the variable, that is connection string. Now there is no need to put anything in this 2 fields. Now here we have the input as a parameters and the SQL query. So I will tell you about the parameters, and currently I am going to tell you about the SQL query. And in the miscellaneous we have the command type text, store procedures, and the table direct. So currently we are just going to pass the text as a text, like insert into. We are not going to use the store procedure. And this, there is option output, that is affected rows. So as I already told you that this execute non-query is used to execute the query, that is like insert, update, delete, which returns only affected rows. So we can take the variable here and we can use the message box to show the affected rows, and also you can take a write line activity or anything to show the affected rows, how many records has been inserted or how many records has been updated or deleted. Okay, so let me show you in the here the SQL Server Management Studio. Let me take one new query, click here and click on tables, select this, click on new query. So we'll take this, drag and drop here, and we'll write here first select star from table name. You can see here currently we don't have any data and we have the ID, name, value, description, and this is same as the config data, config XLS file, so in which we need to write our configuration data here. So currently I'm just going to show you the basic thing, and you can use this, you can store the configuration data. Okay, so let's suppose I'm using here the query insert into and the table name. So this is the table name. We can use this dbo.configuration, or you can directly use the configuration table name also. There is no need to put here dbo.configure. We can directly use this table name, insert into configuration. Then in the open close bracket we need to provide the column names in which we need to enter the data. So let's suppose we have the ID, name, value, description. So ID is a primary key and it will automatically add the row that is 1 2 3. Automatically it will insert here. So we just need to pass the data into the name, value and description. So we'll write here name, then value, then description. Okay, and now here as this is the syntax of the insert into, we'll write here values, then open close bracket, and now here we need to provide the values which we need to insert into these columns. Okay, so let me first take in the name, we will take here the URL in the double quotation. In the single quotation we will pass here URL because we have taken the varchar in the name, and then here comma single quotation again, this is also the varchar, and we'll write here the value is www.google.com, and here comma, and this is the description. You can leave it blank if the column is accepting null value. Then so we can also write here like this is the URL of Google. Okay, and now you can see here once we'll select this and click on execute, this data will be inserted to the table in this column. Now execute this. You can see here we have received the message that is one row affected, because this is the execute non-query. The insert statement is the part of execute non-query. So we are just getting here one row affected, and this select statement is a execute query. So once we'll click on execute, it will show you here the result, right? So that's why this is called execute query, and this insert into will return only affected rows. So this is called execute non-query. So same as this, we can copy this syntax, this statement, and we can paste here in the SQL query. So currently we are not using the parameters. You can see here, click on this, we don't have any arguments name here, it means we don't have any parameters. So we can directly, you can see here it shows SQL query text must be quoted, it means that should be in double quotation. So put the double quotation and paste your sentence, paste your statement. Now let me show you here we have the currently one record, the ID2 and the same URL. Now let me run this. So what will happen if we'll run this project, then again this item will be inserted to the table, because here we have connected the UiPath Studio with the SQL server. Okay, that's why we'll directly we can insert this data to the table. Now here you can see the output. So you can take a variable Control K, affected rows, and we can use this in the message box. So we'll just write here affected rows. So it will insert the data to the table and then it will show the message. So let me run this, control F5. Okay, so we are getting the message 1. Now let me select the query and execute this. So you will see here we have now the 2 records. Okay, and now you can click on the edit query and you can see here this is the hard coded value we are passing here. So I have just shown you because you can understand how to write the query inside this activity. Okay, so there is nothing extra, there is no special. You can just copy the same query which you are writing in the SQL Studio, Management Studio. You can directly same as you can copy paste here. And if you want to change, you can change here the value. Let me change here the value, that is let's suppose we have the yahoo.com, and let me change here yahoo.com. okay, now press OK, and again we will run this project. Then what will happen? Okay, it is showing 1, and then you can see here, execute this, and we are getting here another record, that is yahoo.com. This is the URL of Yahoo. Now the second thing, we need to now learn how to pass the variable. Currently we are using the constant value, the hard coded value. Now we need to pass the variable. So let's suppose we have the value in the variable, then how can we pass? So for that, let me take one assign activity here and control K. This is for the name. Let me take one more and one more, control K. This is for the value and this is for description. Okay, now in the name we can pass here the value in the double quotation, because this is the string, the value is also a string and the description is also a string. So we can pass here in the double quotation. Let's suppose I am passing here the project name, and in the value, so this is the config data. I'm just passing here the project name. The value will be UiPath connect with SQL Server project. So this is the name of the project, and now the description will be in the double quotation. This is the SQL Server connection project. Okay, now we have the value in the variable. So instead of writing the constant value, the hard coded value, we need to pass the variable here. So what we can do here, so one more thing I'm going to tell you here, as you know that in the insert into a statement we can also remove this. This is not required, we can directly pass this value here. Okay, but it will work if you are passing the all this value in the columns, then it will work. Otherwise you have to pass the only that column in which you are going to insert the values. So currently we are using everything. We will remove all this, the constant data, because I am going to tell you how to pass the variable here. Okay, so you have removed everything. Now here you have to put here single quotation 2 times, and then in between the single quotation you have to write the double quotation 2 times and then plus plus. Okay, single quotation, double quotation, plus plus, double quotation, single, like this. So 2 single quotation, and then in between the single quotation you have to write 2 double quotation, and then in between the double quotation you have to write 2 plus symbol, and then between the symbol, that plus symbol, you have to write your variable. So currently we have the variable name, that is name. Same as this comma, if you have multiple column, then you can separate with the comma, and then single quote, then in between double quotation, then plus plus, and then pass your variable value, and again comma, single quotation, double quotation, plus plus, and this will be the description. Now press OK. Now again, now you can see here currently we have the different value, and here we have only 3 records, 2 3 4, and now this will be inserted into this table. Now press Ctrl F5, and you can see here, okay, so one row is affected. Let me run the select query, and you can see here the record has been inserted. This is the name, project name, and this is the value, and this is the description, right? So by this way we can pass the variable in the execute non-query activity. Now the next thing we need to learn, that is how to pass the parameters in the execute non-query. So what is the parameters? So let me click on the SQL queries, and now this is not required because we are going to pass the parameters. So okay, currently remove this, and now let me show you here. Click on this activity, go to the properties, and click on the parameters collections, and let me take here the parameters which we need to pass here. So we have the 3 columns, that is name, value, description. So you can take here as per your requirement, but currently I am just putting here have only name. This is not required to match with your variable. This is not required. You can change the name. You can put here like the value like this, or values, anything you can write here. Here you can also write description, because here I am going to put here the complete name instead of DESC. So this is DESC RIPT description. So this is the parameters, this is our arguments. Now you can change the direction as per your requirement. You can change from in to in, out, anything. Currently I am just using in. You can change the variable type, argument type. Currently I have only a string. Name is also a string, value is also a string, description is also a string. And if you have the integer, then you can select integer, you can select the object, boolean, everything as per your requirement, because next time, like instead of the config data, you will also work with your input data. Then you have the integer value, also you have the boolean value, date time value, then you can change as per requirement. You will also pass the value, this data, to the another workflow, so you can use your in out. And now here in the value, the first option you have in the value, either you can use the double quotation and pass your default value, but here we are not going to pass the default value. So we have the value in the variable here, so we'll directly use the variable. So we'll take here name, and for the value we have the value variable, and in the description we have the variable, that is DESC. Okay, so what will happen, instead of writing here the default value, we are taking the value from these variables, so we are passing here. Now press OK, and now click on the edit query, and also you can see the parameters from here. We have 3 parameters, name, value, and description. So we have to use these parameters, these arguments, you have to pass this in the query. So how can we pass? So for that, inside this open close bracket, we need to write here all the arguments like the parameters. So we have the name, value, comma, description. So you have seen here we have the description as a arguments, and now this is the just arguments, and now we have to make this argument as a parameters. So for that we have to put here at the rate before the arguments name, at the rate, and then at the rate. Okay, so only we need to put the at the rate before the arguments name, and now that is done. You can see here again, you can review this. Insert into configuration the table name, values, at the rate, the argument name, this is the argument name, value, description, because now we have the value from this variable into this argument, so we are passing this, and now press OK, and let me change the value so that I can show you this is working fine or not. Now I am going to change here the name as a channel name, and the value is, the channel name is UiPath RPA, and the description is, this is channel for UiPath videos. Okay, now we have the different values here, and we have set the parameters here. Insert into configuration values, name, value, description, and now let me show you here we have the only 4 records, and now this time it will insert one more. Let me press Ctrl F5. Okay, so one row is affected. Now execute this query. Now you can see here the data has been inserted, channel name UiPath RP, and this is the channel for UiPath videos. Okay, so I hope you learned how to pass the constant value, the hard-coded value, and how to pass the variable inside the query, how to pass the parameter. Okay, so this is quite easy, and you can also change the query. You can write here the delete query, you can write the update query, the same you are writing here. You can just copy and paste and change the variable name, change the parameter as per your requirement, so that will work, right? So now we are done with the execute non-query. Now the next topic is, what is execute query in UiPath? So execute query is used for executing queries that returns query result in data table. It is used to execute the SQL statement like select query. So this is the activity, that is execute query, and that is the same as execute non-query. Only we are just passing here the select query, and in the execute non-query we are passing the insert, update, delete queries. You can write the query in execute query activity to select the data from the SQL Server database. In the query you can pass the variable parameters to pass the dynamic value to the database. For example, let's suppose if you are just selecting the data from the table, then you can use here select a star from the table name. And if you are using the variable name, then you can write here select column name from the table name, where name equal to single quotation, double quotation, plus name, plus double quotation, single quotation. So by this way you can pass the variable. So this is the same as the insert statement. There is no change in passing the variables, and there is no change in the passing the parameters. This is the same. You have to write at the rate and the column name. Okay, now let me show you the practically. So before that, again I am going to remind you that this is the interview question. You can write down, you can note down, you can remember this, that what is the difference between execute query and execute non-query. Now let me show you practically in the UiPath Studio. So this is the same. Let me take the execute query activity here, and you can see there is no difference in the design. This is the execute non-query, and this is execute query. Again we have the configure connection. So we have the 3 option here: connection string, existing connection, provider name. So we have the existing connection in the connection string variable, and now in the input we have the two options, parameters and the SQL. So parameters, I will tell you, this is the same as that, and currently I'm just going to show you the normal query, and this is the command type. The text will be always there. We are not using the store procedures or table direct, so we can export the data to the data table as output, right? But here we can only take the affected rows here, right? You have seen already here. Now I will tell you how to export the data to the data table also, and how can we use that data table. Okay, so now let me write the query, that is select query. So open the studio, and you can see here we have the select star from the table name. Execute this. So this is working fine in the SQL Server Management Studio. So as you know that we can just copy the same thing, go to the studio, UiPath Studio, and click here in the double quotation, paste this, right? So this is done. This is simple. Now you can directly run this, but I am going to show you the output so that you can see it's working fine or not. So let me take the variable as a data table, Control K, and this is config dt. So we have the now data in the config dt data table variable type. You can see here the config dt is the data table. And how can we see that data from the data table? So for that we have to take one write range activity, and I'm going to take from the workbook, not from the Excel. So I'm going to take this write range, and here we have to pass the Excel file name, the sheet name, and the cell from where it need to be inserted, and the data table. So the workbook, the path will be, I'm just putting here in the double quotation, output dt dot xlsx. So as you know that what is the features of write range, so it will check for this Excel file. If it is not there, then it will create this Excel file and insert this data, and if the sheet name is also not there, then it will insert the sheet name also, right? So we just need to pass here the data table name, that is config dt, and just select this add headers, save this, and now run this. So currently you can see we have the 5 records. So we should have the 5 records in the Excel file. So let me open the project folder so that I can show you here once the file will be created, Excel file. Now let me run this, Control F5. So it means first record has been inserted from this execute non-query, and this is just used to select the query. Now you can see here we will have the 6 records now, right? Because one more time the data has been inserted. Now let me show you this Excel file. This has been created now. Let me open. Okay, now you can see here we have the ID, name, value, and the description, same as the SQL table. Okay, now let me close this. Let me delete this again, and now I'm going to do some changes here so that I can show you how can you write the query in the execute query. Now let me show you here. Let's suppose you are writing here select a star from the table name where ID greater than 3, or the name equal to URL, or name equal to channel name. You can like put here the where clause, you can put here the group by, you can put here the like the order by, join, anything you can use here, and you can just copy the same query and paste into that activity. Okay, so this is, I'm just showing you the basic here where ID greater than 3. So we'll get here these 4 records. okay, because this is the greater than 3. So one URL and this 3. So before that, let me control D so that this will not be executed. Control D, and let me copy this select query. So this is the normal, the constant value, constant query. I'm just putting here in the double quotation. Okay, now let me show you the query again here. So select a star from the table name where ID greater than 3. Now let me run this. Control F5. Okay, so the data has been fetched from the table and written to the Excel file. Now open this Excel file. So you can see here we have the record which is greater than 3. So ID greater than 3, we have the 4 records, same as here. Let me run this. 4 5 6 7. So here we have the 4 5 6 7 only, right? So by this way these activity works the same way we write the query in the SQL Server Management Studio. Now the time is to pass the variable instead of hard-coded value. So currently we have the value in the name. So I'm just showing you here. We need to put one condition where name equal to URL. Okay, I'm just putting here name equal to URL. Then it will show here 3 records. So same as that, let me copy this and paste into this. So now you can see here we are passing the URL value here, this one. This is the constant value, this is the hard-coded value, but we need to change or replace with the variable. So how can we do that? So let's suppose we have the name is URL. Okay, so we have to use this variable. So let me go here, click on this edit query and just remove this URL value. Okay, and now write here single quotation 2 times, single quotation, then in between this 2 times double quotation, and then plus plus, and then we just have to write here the variable name in which we have the value URL. Now press OK and save this, run this. Okay, now you can see the again Excel file. We will have the 3 records only for the URL, right? So this is working fine. Now let me show you the how to pass the parameters. So to pass the parameters, let me click on the parameters here and take one parameter name, and let me pass here the variable that is name, because we have the value in the name variable and this is the argument name. Press OK, because currently we are just using here select a star from the table where name equal to name. So we are using only one variable, one column name. So there is no need to take the parameters for all. Okay, so we'll remove this, and this double quotation will be there because this is the opening and this is the closing. Now we need to just write here @ and then the argument name, that is name. Okay, now press OK and save this and run this. Control F5. Now let me open the Excel file, and again you can see here it is working fine. Delete, save this and close this. Okay, so by this way you can pass the parameters variables in the query. You can put the where clause, anything you can put the same as you are using in the SQL Server Management Studio. Now the next is insert activity in UiPath. So what is the use of insert activity in UiPath? Insert activity is used to insert the data from the data table to existing SQL table in database. It returns the number of rows affected as output. So here insert activity is just used to insert the whole data from the data table directly to the SQL table which is already available in the database. Okay, and it will just show you the affected rows as output, that this much of data has been inserted into the table. Now you can see here this is the activity we are going to use, and here we need to pass the input as a connection string, table name, and the data table in which we have the data. It takes the existing SQL table, SQL connection string, and data table as a input. Go to the activity panel and let me search the insert activity. Okay, so we are getting here in the database. Drag and drop this, and now this time let me delete all this data from the configuration table, so that I can show you how to insert the config data from the config Excel file. So let me delete this not required, and let me find the config file, and let me open this. So currently I have the 5 records here in the name, value, and description, and let me delete this and let me take all this data from here. There is no need to keep data in the different sheet here. Okay, copy this and paste here, save this, delete this sheet, this is not required. Now you can see here currently we have all this config data in this config sheet. We have the 21 records. Save this, close this, and go to the studio here. So in the insert we first need to provide the connection strings. So we have the variable connection string, and we need to put the input as a data table. So our data table is the config dt. You can see here the data table. Okay, so we need to provide here the data table name here. So how can we provide the data table? So for that let me remove this is not required. So for that we need to first read the data from the config xlx file. So we'll take this under the workbook, we'll take this one here, and we'll read this Excel file. Let me take this one, and the sheet name will be settings, and this will be deleted, and let me take the name here. So this will be the config dt. So what will happen, first we'll read the data from the config and we'll store that data into the data table, and then this data table will be used here in the insert activity. And now this table name is the table name which is in the database, that is configuration. So we'll have to pass the name in the double quotation, that is configuration. So make sure you are using the correct table name which is in the SQL Server database. And now this is done. Let me take the output affected rows here. So we already have the one variable, that is affected rows, we are using the same. And let me take the message box so that I can show you how many records are there in the config file and how many records has been inserted. So this will affected rows, and now save this and let me check here. Okay, so now run this. So what will happen, it will read the config data and store into the config dt table, data table, and here it will take the data from this input and write to the this table, and it will show the affected rows. Control F5. So currently we don't have anything here. Okay, now you can see here. Okay, so it shows here right range object reference not set to an instant of object. So this is because we are getting error here because of the right range. We can delete this. This is not required. Save this. Now run this again. So it shows here 21 rows affected, right? Now it works fine. Click on execute. Now you can see here the 21 records has been added to the table. Okay, so all this data is there, all the config data is there, everything is there, right? Now you can read one by one data from the config, and you can use it in your RE framework template. Okay, so by this way you can use this insert activity. You can directly insert the data from the config table, data table, to the SQL table, right? Now let me show you the next activity. This is a start transaction activity in UiPath. A start transaction activity is a container where we can start our database transactions. It connects to a database and perform multiple transactions with the database. So looks like this, a start transactions, and it has the do section, that is one sequence, and in which you have to write all this database transactions activities. This activity returns a database connection variable. If use transaction is set true, the contained operations are executed in a single transaction and applied at the end if none of them failed. If use transaction is set false, all operations are committed individually. When the activity ends, the connection to the database is closed. Okay, now let me show you here. Let me open the UiPath Studio, and now you can see here we are getting here the start transaction. You can write here start transaction. This is under the database. Now drag and drop here, and like before working on this database transaction, you can use this start transaction. You can establish a connection here, and you can start putting all these activities inside this do. So currently, like here we have the connect, so we can directly use this as a connection string variable. Okay, so we have this variable, and now we can directly put all this activity in the do sections. So you can put here all these variables, everything inside in the do sections. Drag and drop this and put here inside the do. Okay, now we have the one more, that is read range, insert activity, and the message. Okay, so now I think you are able to understand this is the container, same as the Excel application scope, because we have the other activity, that is read range. We can use this activity also without using Excel application scope, and we have another activity which only can be used with the inside the Excel application scope. So this is the same as the container. We can start our database transaction, we can perform the queries here inside this do sections. Okay, So let me delete the data here from the config, delete from the configurations 5. So 21 records has been deleted. Now let me run this again, control F5. So again you can see here 21 records has been affected, and let me run this query here. The data has been inserted to the table again, right? So this is just a container. You can put all this database activity inside this and you can start working on that. And the last, that is disconnect. So disconnect activity in UiPath. This is used to disconnect or close the database connection which was opened initially. So this is the activity. We will use only this activity to disconnect the database connection. If we have connected the database with UiPath to perform the database transactions with the database, so it is our responsibility to close the connection at the end, right? So in the any programming language, if you have opened the connection to work with the database, then at the end this is your responsibility to close the connection using connection.close, right? You have seen that connection.open to open the connection and connection.close to close the connection. So same here, we have the connect and disconnect. So let me show you practically here. So as you have seen here in the start transition, we have the option, if you use this, then automatically data will be the connection will be closed, right? So this has all these features. And also we have the disconnect activity. At the end we can disconnect, close the connection. So we have the connection string, that is this one, connection string, because this connection has been opened, so that's why this connection should be closed. Now save this and you can close that, right? So by this way you can work with the database, you can do whatever you can do. In the next video we'll learn the Reef framework example using input as a SQL table, insert config data and input data to the SQL table, read the config and input data from the SQL database, and process each records using RE framework template. So I hope you have understood all these things. So if you have any question, please comment on video, or you can send me an email on uipathR@gmail.com, or if you have not subscribed my channel, then please subscribe and please like this video. Thank you so much, friends. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you are liking this video. Thank you.